this doesn't look too bad, but what you want to prevent is all of these wrinkles here. So when we're sewing and we're looking at our pattern pieces, I'll have you guys come take this. And you're lining up your notches. Remember, you gave yourself 2 notches, one at the top and one at the bottom. It's a little bit off because we did add ease to it. So I don't know if you guys can see, my notches are a little bit more, just more distance apart at the curviest. That's because we did add a little bit of ease there. So what we're gonna do is the same as our curved seam assignment. We're gonna add some gathers. We're gonna add what is it called? A basting stitch. 2 rows of basting stitch, and I'm gonna go to my biggest stitch line here, which is 5. Within the seam allowance, our seam allowance is 1/2 inch, so I'm gonna do my first line at 1/4 inch, starting from the notch, the top notch. Stopping at my second notch. It's not necessary for me to go beyond that because most of the gather, or most of the spaced apart distance, how do I say this? The difference is within the notches. Everywhere else is gonna line up perfectly for me except right here. So it's not necessary for me to do my basting stitch beyond. I'm gonna do my second row just right next to it, but still within the 1/2 inch seam allowance. I want it to be concealed inside the edge, inside my stitch line. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull the thread of one side to kind of shrink that edge that I'm working with so that it can align nicely with the edge that I'm gonna match up with. So this is the center part, this is the side part. And I'm gonna first match my center notch, which is the apex.
How come you do 2 lines of the stitch?
2 lines just kind of help stabilize that gather. Because if you have 1 line only, it's gonna be, it's not gonna hold the, how do I say this? Because if it's just 1 line, you're more likely to have pinches all throughout. But gathering 2 rows, you can kind of control it better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For lack of a better word. Control your gather.
Yeah.
It's like more even with 2, or?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Not that it's more even. See, I'm trying to find the right words to explain what I'm thinking. But basically, if it's just 1 stitch, you're more likely to have the gathers dispersed in different angles.
Yeah.
But if you have 2 rows, then it feels more even. Yeah. That was a terrible explanation. Okay, so match up our apex first. Here. And I'm going to use lots of pin. And match my other 2 notches. See, now they align a lot better because I gathered the material. Okay, and I don't find it necessary to pin the straight sides because I can easily line it up. Now I'm gonna add just a few more pins inside. And I'm using my nails to kind of just straighten out any gathers that I can foresee causing me problems. You see how this one here, it's really gathered here. I'm gonna just scrape it to kind of distribute the fullness. Okay, that's looking a little better. And then I'm gonna stitch with the side of the gather facing me so that I can disperse any pleats as I see come up. change my stitch length back 2.5. Line up my edges. Back stitch. When I get close to it, I'm going to pull the needle. I don't want it to go under the machine. Now it looks like it's going to start bubbling. So what I like to do also is pull the bottom here. Stretch it just a little bit. It's gonna help. It's gonna bounce right back. You don't want to stretch it too much, but just enough. Ooh, just enough so that it straightens together. Okay, so that's that. Let me just kind of look at my work. To me, that's not too bad. If you find that you have a really bad pleat and you want to just correct it, you can just cut open or seam rip that section and just, you know, like kind of zhuzh it a little bit, pull it into place, and then do a stitch right along that area only. You don't have to do like the entire thing. But this looks good to me. I'm not going to worry about redoing it. Now the next thing you need to do is just clip this area so that we could press it open. So same like the assignment, we're going to keep the basting stitch in so that I could see that you did do the basting stitch. I'm clipping it just like 1/2 inch, not too much, so that you can press the seams nicely open. And then that the other half that I had done.
Oh, yeah, they're on here.
Yeah, so you can kind of press it open. Actually, let's walk over and do that right now, because I wanted to show you guys a tool that we can use for this. So this is called a ham, because it looks like a ham. But this is something that you can use to help iron out those curves, those rounded edges. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of just line it up on the edge. And just kind of shape around it. If you didn't have that tool, you would kind of you'll iron it on a flat surface, and you're gonna end up ironing wrinkles onto your board, onto your fabric. That's what you don't want. But on the nice flat edges, I'm just gonna use the flat surface. You know, not the best. I'll try to iron that out. Could be better. But
That's
yeah,
the
this is it.
technique anyway.
That's the
Yeah.
technique, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, and that's it.